What's up, gamers? Welcome back to my channel. Before we start, go hit the sub button. We're on our way to 1,000. We're about a quarter of the way there. But today I'm going to show you what you can do as bottom tier. As you can see, we are in the 50 TP prototype, which is the tier 8 premium version, sort of slightly different of the 50 TP. We are against tier 10, 60 TP, 277, 121B, and the gorilla. We end up doing over double the amount of our HP, which is kind of what I would recommend people to do. If you are an average player, try and do your HP in damage. So if for me, I'm 1,600 HP, try and do 1.6k damage. I like to go for double, so I try and do 3.2k damage in this one. But obviously we stick one into the tier 10 there. So obviously at tier 8, the more you do to tier 10s and tier 9s, you will get more XP. So it's easier for you in a bottom tier to finish on the top, basically. But when you are bottom tier and you are against these things, your armor is obviously less reliable, so do not rely on it as much, whereas the 60 TP can rely on his armor a lot more against someone, for say, me. But this tank obviously has extremely bad pen. It's about 218 pen, which is not very good, but it does hit pretty hard, which is a good trade-off, because obviously I can trade with the heavies pretty decently. Obviously do not trade with the tier 10 60 TP at 750. That's 2, we're up to 842 damage already in just 2 shots into the tier 10. 60 TP is only at 1500, and we managed to bounce one. I do believe he ended up shooting. Where did he hit? He must have shot the outside somewhere. I can't see where that 60 TP actually fired and missed. So we're against the Conqueror here. He's got the bottom gun, so I'm a little less fussed now that I know that he's got that bottom gun. And he's just driven straight into us. I'm going to peek out. Didn't want to get him in the tracks. There we go. So he's now tracked. We take one more. But he paid that with his life. So when you are bottom tier, your job is to kind of support them. The tier 10s, the tier 9s. Just people around you. It's not your job to be the front line in this instance. So I'm going to push up here, as I have the confidence that they're not really paying attention to me and there's no one really looking. And I feel like I've had the game knowledge here, which is something you get as you play. Now we snap one there and we do end up taking the 60 TP. I did not realise the 60 TP had gone out, around and back. So we've come in, got in close, stuck in up behind him. Now you have to be careful when you're here, because you can get shot from the other side. So all the way down in sort of the H5 area, which there is an IS-3, a T-26 Patriot, and we stick one again into that 60. We have stuck 3 shots for about 1200, 1300 damage into a 60 TP alone. And there is the BZ-166 I was saying about, that you can get hit from down south in this position. But thankfully there is a nice little, not side scraping, but you can cover the lower plate and just kind of angle it a bit, and obviously over those distance it's going to fall off that pen. So right here I'm lining it up. There we go. So, okay, so he is about there. I've lined it up with the indicator on, which if you don't, go stick the indicators on. You can blind fire extreme amount of shots. The 60 TP just took out the enemy 60 TP. I've got the 277 constantly spotted here, as he is only a few away, and we try and shoot one in, but we don't. I believe we end up knocking his gun out there. It did seem like it was straight into the gun. But we're up to 1700 already. So there we go. You can see across, you just have to rely on your team to spot them, and we fire. There's always like fences and stuff, so they're not always going to show up as an outline, so do just fire. If you know it's a gap, do fire, or you can just wiggle your mouse about like this, see if you can see a little bit. If you can, go for it. Every shot taken, every shot not taken is a shot missed. Put it that way. If I didn't fire there, would have been 400 less damage. Okay, so it's a bit of a stalemate right now. I'm kind of waiting for my tier 10s to push up. I am only a one shot. Okay, right, the 277 is out with TP, so hopefully they're going to start pushing up now. Our tier 8 does, but obviously he's a lot more healthier than I am. I've taken 768 from that 60 TP before he got killed. And we can stick on through his upper plate. Bang. And you'll see that I don't actually fire a lot of gold. I never do, I never have. And not that I never will, but I think as I'm progressing up through the tree, the last thing I want to be doing is spending loads and loads and loads of credits on firing pure gold. Plus, I don't think it's helpful when I'm playing games or doing things like that for people on YouTube, when they go, oh yeah, it's really easy, mark this, do that, buy this, when they're stood there with premium, like 6-man skilled crews, full gold loadout regardless. Even if they're like top tiers, they're still firing gold at like a Scorpion G with no armor. Okay, there's the Skoda, but yeah, I don't think that that's very helpful. It doesn't show, be like, oh, everyone can do it. Well, yeah, everybody could do it if everybody had probably like a press account or something like that. Okay, so I want to try and get the spot on this Skoda, so I am going to push up. It's all about, like, at the end of this, what you want to do is keep your HP, or just stay alive. It doesn't matter how much HP, like you've seen, I've been barely any HP, but I'm up to 3.1k damage as a bottom tier. Unfortunately, we're not going to get any of the spots for this, but if he comes forward a little bit, we can get the kill, which, bang, we do. That's 2 kills. Obviously, then we've got the Gorilla and the S1 that is left. Now, the S1 is actually a very dangerous tank. It's got really good camo. You're not going to see it in those bushes back there unless it's spotted. And if it is spotted, it has, I think it's 288 or something, like 280 odd millimeters of penetration. So it will easily go through me. I'm now spotted, so I'm assuming, okay, he's up there behind. That did not last very long at all. But you think if I had got any of the spot, and then I could have got 1,000 assistance, that would have bumped me up from 3.5k, so a 4.2, 4.3k overall, to nearly 5 something. So that's why you want to push forward and try and get those end spots. Let's jump into the post-game stats. Okay, so the post-game stats for this is 3,526 damage, 2,830 blocked. We spotted 2 and we got about 700 assistance. As a first class, which wasn't too bad. Obviously, we have plenty of bounces and fire effect. So this is how it added up. We came top on damage by quite a bit. 2 kills and 1,366 base. Obviously, you can see there it being really added up from hitting those high tier tanks as a low tier. Bat Chat obviously did pretty well, or the Barask, they did pretty well, but they didn't do as well as we did. They're probably firing at the same sort of tier. So 1,366 base. Obviously, we did, I believe this was my mark game. I'm pretty sure I've got it wrote down somewhere that I got first mark on this, and we're on our way to second. I think we're about 70 odd percent, 75% now. So if you like the video, it was a quick one today, but we're still on our way for 1,000 subs. We're at 275, just over a quarter of the way, just under 3 months to try and hit it from before my goal. So if you can all leave us a like and a sub, that helps. And if you want to see anything else, go down to the comments, leave something in the comments. I always reply, and if you don't have anything to say, just leave an emoji, because engagement.